All right, so this is the next lesson of the quadratic equations. So here we have quadratic formula. This is the new method to solve a quadratic equation. Last time we did factorization. So in factorization, I explain you that this is the standard equation, and in factorization I told you that you need to select product, which is p, that is 6 plus 6, you can see that is product. S for sum, and that is minus 5. Now you need to select two numbers. When we multiply those two numbers you get plus 6, and when you add those two numbers you get minus 5. So this is the method, this was the method which I explained you last time. So that method is called factorization method. In that method you need to decide, you need to think of the product, you need to think of that pair in order to solve this question, otherwise you will not be able to solve that, okay, right? So you need that pair. But quadratic formula, by the way, there are certain question which you cannot solve through factorization method. Let me assume this 3x square, that question I'm taking. 3x square plus 7x minus 1 equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. Square, this is 1, it does not matter, equal minus 1 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation in the standard form, and you cannot solve this question through factorization. You choose product, that is minus 1 times 3 is minus 3, sum is plus 7. So now in this case you need to choose a pair, two numbers. When you multiply them you get minus 3, and when you add them you get plus 7. In this case this is not possible. So it is not always possible that you will actually get that those two numbers, in when you multiply them you get the product, when you add them you get the sum. So it is not always possible, right? So how to solve this question then? You cannot solve that through factorization because you cannot find that pair. When you multiply them you get minus 3, it is not possible in this case. When you add the same two numbers you get plus 7, so it is not possible in this case. So what you need to do, you need to solve this question through quadratic formula. By the way, quadratic formula is very easy. It is like a machine. You just need to put values in that, and at the end that quadratic formula will give you answer. So you don't need to think of the pair, you don't need to think of what two numbers would be in order to do that, solve that question, okay? So the formula is, let me write the formula here. X is equal to minus b plus minus so that is the formula. Minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now what is this a b c, what does that mean? So the number which you see with x square, that number, that is a. For example, let's assume this question, that plus 7, that is b, and this minus 1 is c. So this is b, that is c. But keep in mind you need to write the equation in the standard form. Last time I explained you that the standard form of the quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This was the standard equation. And now you compare this. A is written here before x square. So it means before x square, any number which you see before x square, a number which is multiplied with x square, that is a. In this case, it is 1. There is nothing, so it means 1. A is 1. Okay. B is minus 5 in this case. So a is equal to 1 in this case. B is equal to minus 5. Okay. You need to write with sign. C is equal to plus 6. So these are A, B, C. You just need to put it there in order to solve that question. If you want to solve this question, so A is 3, B is equal to 7, and C is equal to minus 1. Okay, so these are the values. You just need to put all these values in place of A, B, and C here in this formula. So any number which is written before x square, that is called A. And number which is written before x, that is B. So this is B, this one. And the number which is written without x square and without x, that is called C. So that one is minus 1 is C in this case. So in order to use quadratic equation, first you need to use the first you need to find out A, B, C from the equation. From the given equation, you need to decide which one is A, what is the value of B, and what is the value of C. You will write it in this way as I have written here, A, B, and C. And after that, then you will write down the formula like that, and then you will put all these values in that formula one by one. So let's try and solve a question on that. So I want to try and solve this question on the formula. So question is solve. So that is the quadratic equation, and let's solve it using the quadratic formula. So after that, you will write down A is equal to 3, okay, obviously plus 3. So when nothing is written there, it means that is plus. B is equal to 7, so plus 7 obviously, and C is equal to minus 1. C is minus 1. Now let's put in the formula. So I will write the formula here. X is equal to minus B plus minus under root B square minus 4AC divided by 2A. So now let's put all these values here. So x is equal to, keep x as it is, minus b. So I will keep minus as it is formula minus. Okay, in place of b I will replace this b by 7, because b is 7 here, b is 7. So I will replace that b by 7, so I will write 7 here. We are done with that. Now I will write now this plus and minus on its own place. Don't move this, okay, keep it as it is. So plus and minus. Then I will write down or draw that square root. Keep that as it is in all the questions. Okay, you need to do follow the same process. Now b, the value of b is 7. You can see 7. So I will write 7, but there is square. Don't forget the square. Okay, so take square. Now keep minus as it is. 4, obviously 4 is a number, so we will keep that as it is. We'll replace now a. Let's replace this a, and a is 3. So multiply 3. Okay, and then that c. So c is minus 1. So I will multiply with minus 1. Divide by 2a. 2 and the value of a is 3. So 2 times 3. You just need to replace a, b and c. If there is a number, like let's say 4 in this case, you need to keep that number. Okay, so don't remove that. Just replace a, b, c. And now let's solve it. Okay, so let's solve it. So I will, for now, I will write minus 7 as it is, plus minus as it is. First, it is better to solve that under root. Okay, this is what we need to follow in all questions. I want to solve this square root first. So 7 square is 49, and I will multiply these three numbers with one another. 4 with 3 and with minus 1. But first, see that minus and this minus, they will multiply with one another, it will become plus. 4 times 3 is 12. Divide by 2 times 3 is 6. Take that x down. X equal minus 7 plus minus 49 plus 12. 49 plus 12 is 61. So let's write 61 there. 49 plus 12 is 61 divided by 6. Now it is plus minus, so it actually means that write it like this: minus 7 plus under root 61. Separate them. Divide by 6, or minus 7 minus, okay? Once I have written with plus, another time I will write with minus. Under root 61 divided by 6. By the way, you can solve this question a bit more further as well, but if you want to keep it here, that's also correct, okay? So that would be the answer. This is value number 1, and that is value number 2. By the way, the question looks a bit like complex, but it does not matter in this case. By the way, in some other question you will get a simple answers, but here we got minus and plus 61. You can see the answer was here. By the way, I took that question, and you see. So these are the two answers. By the way, if you want to write that, if you want to write that in a decimal number, you can just minus 7 plus under root 61 plus divide by 6. You just need to put that in a calculator, and you will get the answer in decimal form. Now let's work on question number 1, this one. So question number 1, that is x square plus 10x plus minus 4 equal to 0. Okay, this is already in the standard form, and the question is solve. So we need to solve this question by using the formula. So when factorization is not possible, then obviously we will use quadratic formula, and this is what we are doing right now. So let's find out ABC first. So A is equal to 1, B is equal to 10, C is equal to minus 4. By the way, don't forget this minus, okay? C will come with minus 4. and that 10 is plus, so therefore I have written plus, and it is 1 here, so therefore I have, and plus 1, so I have written 1. So ABC. And now let's put it in the formula. So formula was x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So now let's put values. X is equal to, keep minus as it is, that minus. Now let's write that b. So b is 10 minus 10 plus minus under root b. So b is 10, so 10 square, okay, square is there, minus 4, keep 4 as it is, and a is 1, multiply c is minus 4, divide by 2a, 2, a is 1, so 2 times 1. So let's solve it now. I will keep minus 10 as it is, and now first I will solve that square root. 10 square is 100, 4 times 4 is 16, but 100 plus, okay, that minus, and this minus will become plus, and 4 times 4 is 16 divided by 2. Okay, so minus 10, x is equal to minus 10 plus minus 100 plus 16 is 116 divided by 2. And now you split them, or write it once with positive, with plus, and then write it with once with a negative sign. X is equal to minus 10 plus under root 116 divided by 2. That is one value, or x is equal to minus 10 minus under root 116 divided by 2. So we got two values. By the way, you can get a decimal answer as well, but this is also correct. So these are the two answers for the quadratic equation. And I told you last time that always you will get two answers for a quadratic equation. Now if you see question number 2, it says find the exact solution for this one, 2x plus, let me write that, 2x Alright, so this is the question, and it says find the exact solution of this. By the way, you might be thinking that this equation looks like a linear equation because the power is 1, the power is 1. But no, this is not a linear equation, this is a quadratic equation. Okay, at first, when you see it for the first time, you might be thinking that this is a linear equation because the power of x is 1. But now you will see, first of all, we need to remove this x minus 3 from the denominator, and after that then you will decide whether that is a quadratic equation or a linear equation. Alright, so now we need to we need to remove that x minus 3 which is in the denominator. I want to remove that. So how is that possible? I will multiply x minus 3 with the equation. So now let's multiply x minus 3. So I will multiply x minus 3 with this term. So x minus 3 times 2x plus, I will write x minus 3 on different color so that you notice it. X minus 3 times 3 divided by x minus 3 equal minus 2 times, alright, you can see that x minus 3 I have multiplied with all each terms. Now we will cancel out x minus 3 and that x minus 3, so you can see we have removed x minus 3 from the denominator. Okay, we did that, but let's multiply these two, this bracket question, right? That is 2x and x minus 3. By the way, I can write that as 2x. I can write that 2 first. It does not matter if I write 2x there because it will become easy for you to multiply. So let's multiply that 2x inside the bracket. So 2x times x is 2x square. Now you see this become a quadratic equation when you multiply that inside the bracket. And 2x times minus 3 is minus 6x, and that is, there is plus 3 left, and equal to, let's multiply this 2x into minus 2 inside, so it will become, see, I have written equal sign is there, it will become minus 2x and plus 6. Now let's shift these both of them to the left side in order to make that into a standard equation. So it will become 2x square minus 6x plus 3. Okay, when this is minus 2x, when I shift that to other side, become plus 2x. It is plus 6. It will become minus 6 equal to 0. So now let's simplify this equation. So I will write it there. So the question is, okay, now let's simplify the same equation. You can see I can combine minus 6x and plus 2x, because in the first lesson of this chapter I explained you that you can add similar terms. So these two are similar terms. And plus 3 and minus 6 are similar terms. So we will combine them. So let's keep 2x square on its own place. Combine minus 6 and plus 2x. Combine plus 3 and minus 3. So this is now the quadratic equation. By the way, we haven't started solving the question. We have just simplified that version of the question to the standard form of the equation. That was not the standard form. That was not the standard form of equation, so you cannot apply quadratic formula at that point. First you need to simplify that, and when you get equation like this, now this is the standard form. You can see first x square is written, then x is written, then number is written, so that is the standard form of equation. Now you can apply quadratic formula, you can even apply factorization, you can apply any method in order to solve that quadratic equation. But since this question is in the topic of quadratic formula, so let's apply quadratic formula to solve that question. But before that, I will decide value of a, b, c. By the way, you pause the video and try this question, solve it, and then come back and see the solution, compare it with this. So first I will find out the value of a, b, and c. Now let me write the formula. All right, so now let's put the values in the formula. Keep x as it is, minus b is minus 4. So this minus is the formula minus, and b is also minus 4, then plus minus, keep it as it is, then under root. B is minus 4 again, so minus 4 square, minus 4. A is 2, so I will replace that a by 2 times 2, and c is minus 3. C is minus 3, so minus 3 divide by 2a, so 2 times a is 2. So let's solve it now. X is equal to minus and minus will become plus, so 4. Okay, plus 4 plus minus. Now let's solve the bracket. Minus 4 square is 16. By the way, minus 4 square means minus 4 times minus 4. 4 times 4 will become 16, and minus times minus will become plus. Okay, so when they are a square, it means we need to multiply that number twice. This minus and that minus will become plus. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Divide by 2 times 2 is 4. Let's put it in the calculator. So 16 plus 24, that has 40. Okay, so plus 4 plus under root plus minus under root 40, because 16 plus 24 is 40, divided by 4. Okay, so that is the answer. By the way, you can solve it further as well, but it is okay if we keep it like this. Plus under root 10 divided by 4, or 4 minus under root, sorry, that is 40. This is 40 divided by 4. So these are the two values of x, and this is the solution set. You can write them in a solution set as well. So that is the answer. All right, so I explain you that question. We did that question, okay? And after this lesson, you practice questions like 15 to 20, 15 to 10 to 15 questions related to factorization and quadratic formula. After completing this lesson, then take a quiz. There would be a PDF file. You open that, solve all those 15 questions. And when you are done, share it with us. We will check that and we will come reach to you again. Okay. So that was the quadratic formula. And the next topic would be completing square. We will start that in the next lesson. So for now, let's end it. Bye.